You're tuning in to the Black Hollywood Live Network, featuring news, interviews, and commentary on all things Black Hollywood. Hollywood redefined. From Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is Black Hollywood Live. Just saying, featuring conversations on love, sex, and relationships from three sassy ladies. Black Hollywood Live. Hollywood redefined.
You're listening to Black Hollywood Live.
And now, the host of Black Hollywood Live, Just Saying.
Good evening. It's Friday night. Welcome to Just Saying. I'm your host tonight. I'm Diann Valentine. We have a very special guest in the studio with us tonight, the very beautiful Miss Jackie Christie.
Thank you for having me.
We know you know Jackie from Basketball Wives LA, but we got her here because we want to talk about something else with her tonight. Now, let me introduce you to my other co-host. To Jackie's left, the beautiful Miss April Daniels.
Hello, everyone.
And our favorite girlfriend, our resident mixologist, who is very boobalicious tonight, Miss Sheree Fletcher.
Hey, everybody. Thank you, Diann, for pointing out the girls.
Well, I'm just saying, if you got them, you might as well flaunt them.
Look,
Really?
yeah.
Because people spend good money for those.
They do.
Yes.
Some people never get them.
Look.
Well, you got enough junk in that trunk.
Oh, okay.
Yes, you made up for it on the backside.
So it has been 2 weeks since we've shot a show.
Yes.
So, Jackie, we kind of have a tradition that I kind of catch up with my girls before we jump into our show.
Okay.
So, April, where have you been?
I have been stuck at home in front of the computer, approving everything for my Chicago date, June 13th. For ladies rocking out with you in your city. Make sure you're there. Tickets can be purchased at rockoutwithme.com. And that's been my life.
Okay. You're a working girl now.
Yes,
I like it.
I know. I don't know what to do with myself. I'm like,
You're going to need an assistant and everything in a minute.
No, Jet is going to need an assistant.
yeah, no, that's the one that needs an assistant.
And Miss Fletcher,
Yes, darling.
you've been in Paris.
I have
which
been
I'm
in
very
Paris.
jealous about.
It was fabulous.
Was
but I
it?
thought of you.
I lied.
I lied.
Well, tell our viewers why you thought of her.
That's a whole nother story. But yes, I was there. My son took me for Mother's Day, and it was just incredible. We had 3 days, and I've come to the conclusion that 3 days in Paris from LA is not enough.
No.
We were so turned around and twisted and with our time, but we had an amazing time. And now I'm doing the Sheree Elizabeth. I'm working on the website,
Yes.
which will launch June 2nd. So this
Good.
Tuesday, and I'm super excited about that.
Good. It's about time.
It's about, yes. I had it. It's kind of like a relaunch.
Yeah.
So, it's time.
But let's just talk about this seriously.
Yes.
Because me and April still need to get, advanced access before the site goes live.
So don't think y'all gonna get first dibs, because we get first dibs first.
Y'all do get first dibs. I do. I call it girls. Yes, I got these pieces. Because I'd be so excited about them. And nobody, let me tell you something, nobody is excited about my pieces as this chick. She groans and oohs and ahs and makes sounds. And Diann is number 2.
I know. She do.
Close
April
second.
takes all the good stuff. Well, it is Friday night, and it is time for our cocktail.
Yes.
Sheree, I have had a hell of a week, so I need one.
This
So
will fix
tell us
that.
about this one.
Well, I call this the Canta Lime Martini, and it's cantaloupe and it's lime.
Ooh.
And our viewers can go to my Twitter page, Sheree Fletcher, and get the recipe. It has a little vodka in it. It is fabulous. Should we try, ladies?
Now, how do you get
Seriously.
cantaloupe juice?
You just you puree it.
Show
It's
off.
fresh. Yeah.
Show off. Look at her.
What do you think?
Ladies. You just gonna get the guzzling before we tell
I
us
know.
to leave.
It's good. It's yummy. It's almost like a smoothie.
Isn't
Yeah,
it?
it has a grapefruit sort of flavor.
Really, that's probably the lime.
the lime, yeah.
Kind of balancing out that sweetness, giving it a little citrus.
Cool.
It's
Delicious.
fabulous.
Perry
And it is
inspired?
potent. What did you say?
I said Perry inspired.
No, it wasn't. It was what is it? Vons inspired.
Oh, okay.
Yes, they had fresh melon on sale.
Well, we
Albertsons,
appreciate the cocktail tonight. I know I
Yes.
needed it. I hope y'all do
Yes.
too.
Delicious.
Ladies at home, we hope you got yours ready and ready to jump into our show, because tonight we are talking occupation groupies.
Ooh, that's juicy.
Now, back in the day, a groupie used to be the chick who just hung around the baller, or, where I'm from, she hung around the drug dealers, because she just wanted to ride in a pretty car. But today, I feel like groupie has taken on a whole new meaning. A whole new meaning. And so, I want to know, what do you guys think groupies' intention are? Do you think they intend to become like the new wife? Because DMX's wife has said, and even Robin Thicke's wife has said that groupies like ruin their marriages. So what do you think, Jackie?
Personally, the word groupie's always been hard for me to say, just because, being married to an athlete,
right?
The typical name for the girls that hang around and stuff is groupies. But I just feel
What do you call them, Jackie?
You know what? I just, they're bitches. I just think that's a better name than
There you have it.
groupie. I don't know, but yeah, I think they're looking for relationships in the wrong places and in the wrong way. But they want what wives and girlfriends have.
They want
Look at that.
So you think they don't necessarily want a one-night stand? They want everything.
Oh yeah, they want the whole. I think so. I mean,
They kind of want what they see. Yeah.
definitely, definitely.
The life.
Interesting. So now, Miss April, I know that LaShawn is in the music industry, and you and I talk about this all the time. Like, April's husband is the nicest guy that you will meet in Hollywood. He's so nice and funny and friendly, right? And also very talented. So I just would like to know, how have groupies kind of made their way, or attempted to make their way into your life or your relationship? And in case you sleeping on my girl, just check them at the Grammys this year.
April don't play.
That was last year.
Last year.
Yes.
And how many did Sean walk away with?
That night,
for
no, he was nominated for 3.
Okay.
But they did not win.
Oh.
Well, the nomination, to be nominated
Right.
is huge.
But he's won for others.
Yes.
No, but fortunately enough for me, I don't really deal with groupies on that level.
Right.
Like, I spot them out. Like, I spot a groupie right there in the corner. I spot another groupie over there. But,
April got groupie radar.
No, Vera got groupie radar. But, at the end of the day, I see them, but he's so good with keeping that stuff away.
Yeah.
I don't think he wants America to see the other side of me. So I think, he's like, let me make sure I swat all these flies away before they come over here and mess with the wrong ones. So, for me, I've never really had to deal with that. I've dealt with a woman that I knew, if he would take it there, she would be with it.
Right.
But, that's about the extent of it.
And how do you deal with that, knowing that they have to, you know what I mean? Like, if they're in the studio or they're working together, how do you deal with that?
For me, I deal with it because I trust him.
Got you.
If I would lose my mind. I'd be like, oh my God, he's in the studio with Beyonce. Oh my God, he's in. Like, you can't even. You really got to be secure in your own skin first and foremost before you can take on any group.
Right.
Because if you a mess, girl, you might as well wrap your husband up and give him to her. Because you can't be unstable in dealing with another nut that's not stable.
Yeah.
Now,
did you ladies know that there is a website called Lipstick Alley? Mm-hmm. You are familiar with it.
They hate me. Yeah.
They hate you. Oh,
Why?
Tell the ladies what Lipstick Alley
They
is.
just write a whole bunch of negative stuff all the time.
So
And,
what is
my
Lipstick
God.
Alley exactly?
I think it's a blog, but it's also a chat room of some
Okay,
sort.
yeah.
And you can go in there and say stuff and put stuff.
And it's become like a platform for women to go on and talk about their famous encounters.
That's crazy. Do
Yes.
they name names and everything?
Oh,
Something,
yeah.
Oh, my
Oh, yeah. It gets real scandalous.
Lipstick Alley is
we know where we going next. We're gonna be like, did you see what she just?
They ain't right. They not right.
We all wrong. It's terrible.
All wrong. But like, what are some of the worst stories maybe you've seen on Lipstick Alley?
Just stuff that they say, like Doug was choking on a chicken bone and I wouldn't let him get help from a doctor because she was female. Little stuff like that. Some of the
that's
stories are,
mean.
women arguing with each other, attacking other wives, girlfriends, that kind of thing.
Really?
So yeah, I've seen some pretty bad stuff on here. I always go past them.
Trifling heifers.
That is trifling.
They got enough time to sit up there. Obviously you need another job. 'Cause I ain't got enough time to sit on the phone with my girlfriends alone in the chat room talking about this one and that one. Like, what is going on?
Yeah.
I am with you.
But let's talk a little bit about juggling balls.
Literally.
Literally. So, Jackie, you and Doug have had an unusually long and very successful marriage. And I'd like to know, how did the two of you meet?
We met at a restaurant through a mutual friend in Seattle. 23 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a close friend of his and a close friend of mine. He kept telling us he had someone he wanted the other one to meet. And then once he said he played, I was like, nah, I really want to date an athlete. But then Doug came in town one day and I was at home asleep and he was like, hurry up, jump up, get in the shower, come over here. He's here. I want you to meet him. And as soon as I walked in, it's like 12 girls around him. He was still in college. He hadn't gotten drafted yet. So I was like, see, this is the reason. And then we ended up talking and danced a few times. And then 6 months later, I'd see him out at comedy stores and stuff. But about 6 months later, we started dating.
Look at that.
Now, is Doug from Seattle as well? Oh, he is.
Okay.
Oh, both of you. Both of you are from Seattle. Nice. Now, you know, I always say that there's groupies and then there's NBA groupies, right? Because I think, you know, in the music industry, in the you know, for athletes, I think the NBA is like the one industry where you kind of, you can easily find out what a dude makes. Right?
Yeah,
it doesn't take
it's
much,
on Google
right?
and
Right. You can just kind of find out what a player makes. So knowing, I think the how high the stakes are is, I think, what makes the level of the groupie, you know, a little bit more potent, shall we say. So I want to know, is this one of the ways that you have kept them heifers from keeping their vicious claws on your man?
Hello.
You know what? That's funny. I'm glad you guys put that picture up there. Okay,
explain.
we had a BET show and it was called The Christie's Committed, and that was a promo shoot we were doing in New York City. Because everybody had the idea that we were like that, so we were playing around, and we had our puppy with us there, and that's his collar actually. We had bought it for him that day, so it was brand new, and I said, let me put this around your neck. So we did that for the show.
For fun.
I think it's so cute, though.
Yeah. Oh no, Doug is he's a beast.
But
he would
you know
never
what?
go for nothing
Jackie,
like that.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate because some people would say you kind of got Doug on a leash.
Yes, they do, and that's why we did it.
How would you respond to that?
That right there, I laugh at that kind of stuff because they don't understand how come I feel like it's a racial thing, because how come a black man can't be in love, respect his woman or his wife, and it wasn't always perfect. I say that in my book. We have a book out that we wrote called No Ordinary Love, a true story of marriage and basketball, where we talk about the first 3 years. It was turbulent like any other relationship. He wasn't ready to settle down. He was like, you know, he
And this
loved
was
me.
into marriage?
This was before we got married, because we were
gotcha.
together 3.5, 4 years before he proposed, and he was, you know, doing his thing. But I never saw the girls, and when I'd ask, he would say things like, "Now, if you was my wife, you'd have the right to ask me. Until then, stop that." But he never, flaunted girls in my way. So I went through the whole calling, sending pizza to the house to see if it was a girl, because he was in New York and I was in Seattle.
Please share that trick.
Oh, girl.
Tell us about that.
If you think
That might be the next poll.
What
you
is
just call any
do's and
pizza,
don'ts.
Domino's, anywhere, and order the pizza in your voice and send it. And then when they get to the house and they knock, if the girl answers, then you know, because then you call back 30 or 45 minutes later and they're like, "Oh no, we came to the house and you said you didn't order no pizza." So then I would know.
That's a good one.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
trick?
Oh yeah.
Pimpology 101.
Oh, yeah.
Love it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What other give us another trick?
Let me see.
She can't be giving them away for free.
I did everything. Like if they, you know, a lot of the players would like put do not disturb on their phones at the hotels when they check in, because you know they just either want to rest or they might have company. Then you just call the front desk, send security, because your grandpa is up there and he has heart trouble. So you need to go and open the door to make sure that everything's okay. And then they
Let me
open
tell
the
you
door
something
and
now.
go there. Oh, I was a maniac, you guys. You just don't know. Believe me.
But
I like to think I was crafty back in my day, but this here is a whole nother level.
Girl. Oh my God.
Now, can I ask a question? Do you think that you got to be a little crazy to kind of protect what you have?
No, I feel like it's all about just how much you love a person, regardless of what, you know what I mean? And seeing my mom, you know, she was a single mom raising 9 kids, and our stepfather lived with us, but I seen what she went through, and, you know, she wasn't one to take any mess. So it was like, well, go on in. And, you know, I seen her struggling, and just, I knew I wanted the white picket fence, the family, and all of that. And if I'm going to give you respect, you damn sure going to give it back. And that's the way I felt. So I'm just one of those no-nonsense people. And I feel like, you know, we can have the best relationship or we can have no relationship. There's no in between.
Right.
You think respect is demanded or is it earned?
Definitely, you have to demand it at first, and then, you know.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
And,
I agree.
and they know. And a man's only going to do what you allow him to do. It's unfortunate, but if you say right at the beginning, no matter how much it hurts, you cannot stand there and be walked over. He will respect you more.
Yeah.
Right.
Love it.
Now, I know you and Doug have a tradition where you guys get married every year. So is that something you still do?
Yeah, we get married every year. And people say, oh my gosh, she's doing that because she's fanatical. It's not that. We got engaged on a Friday and we got married Tuesday. And so a lot of people couldn't get there in time. So the next year we had another wedding and we loved it. And we decided, let's make this a tradition.
I think it's very
That's
sweet.
fun. Yeah.
I've been married 5 years now, and my husband and I have been married 3 times.
That's what I'm talking
In 5
about.
years.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah, it is.
It is.
And I don't care where we are. I don't need a big show. I don't need a party. But I'm just like, I really like you right now.
That's right.
We're married.
Right. Sexy.
Yes.
I want the wedding. I just don't want that marriage.
Oh, what?
Look now.
You know you've had enough.
Now that marriage is hard. The marriage is
Anything
hard.
worth
And you're not
having
kidding.
is
And we
going to
know,
be
Bear.
hard.
We know.
That was April. That wasn't Bear.
Now, speaking of, groupies and all of that, there is a book out called Threesome. A woman wrote a book called Threesome, where seduction, power, and basketball collide. And she says that there are levels to groupies. She says there are the gutter groupies. The gutter groupie is the girl who will do anything. She'll give you a blowjob in the parking lot.
Hello.
Oh my gosh.
How about her? And then there is the working girl groupie, right? So she's more of your blue collar groupie. She got a job. She has her own money. She has her own life. But she's not mad about a free dinner or a free cocktail or, whatever, every now and then when you roll through town. And then there is the fly girl groupie. And she says the fly groupies are the ones that are the most in denial because they are the ones that demand, the handbags, the trips, the shoes, all of the great possessions, and they don't see themselves as groupies. They are the ones in the most denial, like, what? Like, no, you have to pay for my time. So do you think that's an accurate description?
It's funny because, to be honest, I've never, ran into that. I've heard the stories.
Right.
But I think it's probably, too, when they came around our team, I was always around teams that was family-oriented, and it was girlfriends and wives, or the girlfriends were in, fiancés.
Right.
So we didn't have that, and we had closed, like, wives' lounge and stuff. You couldn't just come in there.
Right.
So they kept them back. But, wow. That's just too bad, and I feel like women should be a lot more independent,
right?
And that'll make the guys respect them too, and that'll probably get the player to fall in love with them faster than asking.
Yeah.
Well, isn't there a fine line then between the fly girl and like somebody that you're dating? I mean, if you're demanding bags and all that kind of stuff, then are you dating him? Are you seeing this player?
According to her, probably.
Yeah, or repeatedly.
She thinking they in the relationship if she got all these demands.
But I'm saying I could see how you might think that, we're seeing each other and we're dating.
No, not if I know you. When you get done in this city, you go home to your wife and your family.
Oh, well, that's different. But see, all groupies, I don't think you have to be a groupie. I don't think it means that he's married. You
okay,
understand?
well, your girl.
Like, you can be a groupie chasing after a single.
Okay, but you a
NBA
groupie
player.
if you're not that chick that he's respecting as his woman and everyone knows you're his woman. That's a groupie. It's very clear. If I'm getting a bag for some services,
Right.
I'm definitely not his woman.
Yeah.
Like, what is this?
But
You ain't never got no bag for services?
What? As a lady, I don't know who you talking to.
I think we've all gotten bags for services.
We have
I have. I have.
Well, your motto
From
is
your husband?
No, I just got married.
Dianne's motto is
Dianne was a hoe back in the day.
you blank why.
Do you have to ask for it, or do they just give it to you?
Well, my philosophy, at least when I was dating, was that my time cost
See,
something.
that's the
Dianne
difference
was a
right
groupie.
there. Fly girl.
I was a fly girl.
You said dating. That's the key word.
Yes.
Dating.
No, I was always dating.
So you wasn't getting bags for fellatio.
No.
You wasn't getting bags for.
I think you dating. You don't know. You don't.
No, you
he's
know
got
the
10,
difference
20
if you
other
date,
girls.
but you know.
He's on the road.
No.
Yeah.
Then
All
we
the time.
on the road all the time. Where we going?
I got a life.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well
I ain't
then.
gonna be on the road with
Listen.
you 24/7.
Then us 3 on the road.
Yeah. My schedule's packed. I'm ready to go.
Right. What time we arrive? I want to see what Diann and Jackie gonna do there when I got there.
Yeah.
You over here want to make another drink. You better get your butt on that plane.
No.
And I just
give me my bag.
But I just feel like, to some degree, I feel like maybe it's nothing wrong with women, saying that if you're going to be in my life and you are a man with means, then you should make it better. Silence. Crickets.
I just, in particular, are we in a see? I just feel like if you're not in the relationship, then you might as well be a prostitute.
Well, define them. You but wait, before you get in a relationship and become exclusive, you have to date somebody.
Yes, we have to date, but I'm not putting your private in my mouth for no bag while we date to get.
No, but if we date,
why are you stuck on blowjobs tonight?
Right. If we're dating and we're having relations, and you happen to give me a Gucci bag, does that make me a groupie?
Said you happen to give me
That means you performed well and he was pleased.
Look, if you want to bless me with something beautiful to go with this beauty,
Y'all heifers is out of line tonight. I just want y'all to know that. I have to apologize for no.
There is a fine line here.
I think so.
There's a fine line.
I think so.
You ain't
gotta
agree to disagree.
You ain't always gotta
Moving
do
right
tricks,
along.
April. You ain't gotta bring out your bag.
I'm just saying, tricks don't come unless we, one-on-one. You ain't getting no tricks if you ain't my man.
Well, sometimes you got to do the tricks to get
You giving up the goods before you get the product. What are you doing?
I'm just saying.
You know what? I'm getting ready to be your chaperone in this next venture.
No, Riri is good. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about my friend.
All right.
Oh.
So, speaking of threesome, all right, there is a player, and he plays for the Brooklyn Nets. His name is Andre Kirilenko.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know him. Okay. So here he is. He's an NBA player. And him and his wife, Masha, they have an understanding where she allows him to cheat once a year.
She does.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Mm-hmm. Now, is it a certain day?
What the hell does that matter?
She gives him a pass and lets him go.
Yeah. Right.
Oh my God.
Thursdays. It's Thursday, Sheree.
And look, and she did an interview, right, with the Salt Lake Tribune, and she said, these men, they get chased by women. It's hard to resist. It's the way men are by nature. When I'm aware and I let him do it, it's not cheating. So is she saving her marriage or is she foolish?
She losing her mind at the same time.
I think that's playing with fire.
Me too.
Yeah.
And we were on Tyra Banks when she said that when I first met her. She's a sweet girl, but I didn't know she was going to say that, and I was blown away. I was like,
wow.
There she is. But look, she looked like she was a video vixen in her first life. Look at that pout.
Look like she done got some Gucci bags.
Right? Look at that pout.
She got a closet full of bags.
Lockjaw.
With that
Listen, what's her name?
Masha.
She
and
better
you know
be
what?
careful.
I think their tradition too. She says something about it's more open over there.
Oh,
and we're
okay.
uptight.
So culturally, okay, I can see that being different.
Listen.
But now, Sheree,
Yes.
I mean, how do you feel about that? You just said you love the idea of the wedding, but not the marriage. So would you be open to a scenario where you both get a pass once a year?
Well, then I'm married. If I'm on lockdown like that, you know what I mean? But no, I don't think if I was to get married, it would have to be a one-on-one. I couldn't do the open thing. I couldn't share somebody in,
one Thursday every year.
For me, I'm good with that. But for him,
She crazy.
You sound Sheree.
You
I'm just
okay?
saying.
But you to have that privilege,
but it's so funny because with women, it's not the sex for us.
It's the emotional.
Yeah, it's the emotional, it's the romance or whatever. It's
okay.
just
Until
somebody
he
being
put his
prepared.
salami on your forehead, then you gonna be like, how did that happen?
Why is it gotta be salami?
But knowing that it really is just sexual for men, when they do it, then does that make us somehow feel better?
You don't think the men get an emotional connection?
I think they could if it's repetitive or if it's somebody
That's a
probably
dangerous
not a
way, huh?
groupie, but right, somebody that they work with. Groupie is not somebody that you normally see all the time.
Right.
So yeah, so I think I I get her philosophy. I get where she's coming from. I still think she's trying to prevent him from cheating.
Right.
But he is. That's what I'm saying. He's sleeping. What is cheating? Her not knowing?
I just feel like once you make your vows, don't do it if you're not ready. If you do it, then be committed.
But that
she
might
talking
have
about
been
you
in
got
their
a
vows,
pass.
though.
Yeah, but that's crazy because if you giving him a pass, don't let him get a hold of some snapper that'll get his behind. He'd be like, listen, Masha, I'm not coming home out of town sunshine.
Never come home.
Right. You
And
know?
that's the big fear right there.
Okay, hold that thought. Because we have a question from one of our viewers.
Yeah, that's
Hey,
a false
guys,
sense of
Steven.
control,
In the booth.
I think.
Mind in the booth.
So one of our viewers tweeted in, he wanted his Twitter to remain anonymous.
He did.
He said he and his girlfriend have that same rule where once a year, and I don't know if this is him just being a guy because he wants to, fool around a bit, but he says every year it gets to that point where the grass is always greener, and every time he does go outside of that, it pushes him closer to his girlfriend. And he hasn't done it for 3 years.
Wow.
That might be true.
Now, that's
I
a
don't
thought.
want to take that
Yeah.
risk.
Yeah, I'm not playing with that. That's we might as well
an
set
interesting
ourselves on
thought.
fire.
But
and
the
just
fire you're
burn.
playing with is one day the grass might be a little greener.
Yeah.
See, that's what you're playing. And I think for women, that's a false sense of control. Oh, I'll give you a day to cheat. Or I'll give you a date. I'll give you a hall pass once a year. I don't agree with that.
Then a baby can be brought in. There's so many different
you
things.
open the door
I
for
always,
so many things.
Yeah.
You know.
But what if they're just getting it out of their system?
Then why get married? I'm just saying.
No.
It should be out of your system before you, like Doug did. He did the honorable thing.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't marry you until he was ready to commit to
Exactly.
you.
That's right.
Don't he, me, she. No, right. There's too many people for this party. What is going on?
And then they have clubs like swingers clubs and stuff. They could join that if they.
What kind of club?
Swingers club.
Oh, swingers.
Yeah.
I thought you said wieners. Oh, Lord.
All right. So let's talk about, a different kind of groupie. Because for some people, being a groupie is almost like a badge of honor. Okay? So there is a group called Buckle Bunnies. And the Buckle Bunnies, they follow the professional rodeo circuit. Now, they got a Facebook page. They got a national chapter. They are what they consider acceptable groupies. They wear it proudly. Now, are these thoughts? Are we cool calling them Buckle Bunnies?
Listen, those are business groupies. They done got business cards. They done got their company trademarks. I ain't mad at them. They business minded.
But is there really some respect to say, this is who I am. I'm proud of who I am. Yeah, I'm jocking him because he's famous, but that's just what I do.
Well, I think that they think it is. I personally, if you're a groupie, you're a groupie. I don't really have a lot of respect for, somebody sleeping for things. That's, that kind of makes
But they
you a
got
hoe.
matching uniforms.
Yeah.
No, they don't franchise the whole brand. I see it. So they're smart. They're smart groupies.
They franchise the whole brand.
When they sleep with, that's
Right.
what's, because I read up on that. When they sleep with a man, these cowboys, they keep his buckle as their badge of honor. Oh. So that's why they're called buckle bunnies. So they collect
Buckle
these
bunnies.
belt buckles.
Right.
Oh my
Right.
What you gonna share them with your children? Like, what are you gonna do with?
They probably got a wall of buckles.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's I know.
But I mean, look at these women. What I like is I'm all about powerful women, right? So I like when women
Take
own
the power.
whoever they are, take their power back. Because when I look at these women, at least they are proudly saying who they are. Because look at some of the stuff we watch on reality TV.
Oh yeah, we know.
Hello. I'm just saying, look at some of the people that do anything for 5 minutes of fame.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You know what I mean? Do we want to just say, hey, do we respect them anymore?
I don't agree with you. Once a groupie, always a say no. I mean, yes, they look very nice. They look like a unit of groupies.
Yes.
It still doesn't make what they do any better. They just look professional as they do it.
Yeah.
Y'all all matching. You got the same pose. That's cute,
Little flower in
But
their
what
hair.
you're doing and what it's built on is foolishness.
But
What's worse, a gold digger or a groupie?
They the
They're
same.
one and the same. Yeah.
What to say?
They the same.
But how do you feel about just the whole concept of women owning their own power? Like women deciding, I decide who gets a piece of this cookie.
I don't think that's power. I don't think that's power.
What is
Not
it?
when you're a groupie.
I think it is power, but it's abuse of power.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. So, but is it any less respectable power than the power that men have? No. Because for men, it's acceptable. It's acceptable for them to have groupies outside the hotel room.
And that is what it is. And we're not going to change that.
Right. So why bash the women?
I'm not bashing them. I said they look nice in their uniforms. I'm just saying they still groupies.
They ain't got no sense. Ain't no sense.
I like that. Red, white, and black, nice colors. And, you know.
You don't have no sense. Okay, so now there's sometimes when a groupie isn't necessarily, a sexual partner, right? So June 3rd, right? Entourage the movie is coming back.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see
I
it.
can't
Me
either.
either.
Ari is really my boyfriend in my head. He is my boyfriend. And look, Vince came, he made it in Hollywood, and he brought all his boys with him.
Wow.
And they are all his groupies.
Yeah.
And Entourage is based on a real life.
Right.
That's true.
But see, that looks cool when
Yeah, that's cool.
when they
Got a
walk,
little t-shirt.
when they walk the red carpet and they say I'm with him, that looks cool. When the girls do it, you're like, she knows she can ready give him some. So it's crazy that it's like that.
Right.
But that's really
your boys
the truth.
around.
Yeah,
It's
it's
a support
like
system. You're in a circle.
So then, is groupie just somebody who's attracted to powerful people?
Yeah.
I
would
think
say that's
so.
a part of it. Yes.
Yeah, I think that's a
Yes.
lot of it.
And maybe finds their value in the connect with that powerful person.
Yeah.
And can just regular people have groupies?
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like my husband works in sports. Not an athlete, but he's done a lot of work with a lot of different athletes. And he also does a lot of work with like Nike and stuff around the world. And so when he's working and when he's in that environment and he's, handling LeBron or handling Kobe or, people see him and they just oh, he looks like, he's running something. Like the women are just in full effect.
That's right.
Yes.
And they're just like, Damon. I mean, like, really, and I just be like, and you not even like,
I don't see it.
he ain't even really paid. He just a little bit paid. He ain't like really paid.
But I've
It's
seen
all
that in
about
action.
perception.
Oh, you've seen it, right? At the camp.
At the camp. Anytime you have men in position of power,
Yes.
and then that there's an attachment. They have relationship with the ballers or whatever. It's
Right.
like the security guards.
Right.
It's like sleeping with the security guard
To get to
the
right.
the
talent.
That's the truth.
So it don't matter. They don't discriminate. Let you be in the atmosphere. They like, let me see. He probably makes approximately. Like they gone and they trying to figure that
Right.
thing out. And if it look like it can be that, then they'll just go with that.
I
They
don't
don't
think
even
it's
have to.
always money though.
But with money, it's
either.
power.
Yeah, but I think
So-
it's what they represent. I think it's the power that they represent.
That's what I'm saying. Not that they can get the money. I'm just
Right.
saying they're like, oh, he must be, let me see what he's about. Not so much like I'm going to get purses, I'm going to get shoes.
Right.
Because some of these chicks is so stupid that they don't get nothing and they being groupies. So it's like, a lot of that to me is the power of it all, the perception of it all. Like, oh, if he is what I think he is, then I just want to be next to that.
Right.
What can I do to get next to it? If I got to sleep with the guy that don't look too appealing, cool. But it's going to get me in that suite that I know homeboy is in next door.
Well, my dad played with a band all growing up. He and his brother had a band, so we would be in clubs. I was 16. I had a fake ID to get in, just to basically to hear
did you
them.
now?
I did. That my daddy got me.
Don't put it on him.
Just to bring me into and it wasn't like a club like we know a club to be. It was more of like a lounge, and they would have the live band, but they had groupies back then. I remember seeing just women clamoring around these guys. It's not a money thing.
No.
It's, the talent, the fact that they represent celebrity or power or whatever, and boom, they're attracted to them. Yeah.
And it's some places I think that we just think like should be sacred, like when a man is with his wife or, when he's out with his kid. Like there are just moments when we think this should be sacred. This should be off limits. And I know for me, when I think about preachers, when I think about the man of God, he should just really be off limits. But if you Google preacher groupies, you would be shocked at the stories that come up.
It's some at every church.
I'm telling you, did y'all know I dated a preacher? Did y'all know that? Did y'all know? You didn't know, girl.
Say what?
I did know.
Wait a minute.
I dated a preacher for a hot minute. He was fine. He was fine. It was ridiculous. He was so fine. He was an asshole, but he was fine.
Not the preacher.
He was a jerk. He was such a jerk. That's because he was fine. Stay away from the fine ones. But I mean, just a number of women that were at his church that were just like taking care of him, like bringing him meals and picking up his laundry. And I was like, you need to marry all these hoes because I ain't doing none of this.
I'm telling you that every church.
Yes.
You think you could come and pray for me, Father, Pastor? My back ain't been the same since my surgery. I thought you said your back.
Hands on me, Pastor.
It ain't ran down.
Now, Sheree, I know you are going through a divorce.
Yes,
and we're ready to celebrate when you are, by the way.
Yes.
However, you were first lady.
Yes.
So what was that like with the groupies? Because you're kind of a dime piece too.
Well, thank you, Diann. But you know what? I think a lot of that, just like April said about Sean, he kept me away from a lot of that. But I do know that when we announced our engagement, he lost half his congregation.
That's like, heck, what else? And it was coming in no more.
Now, first of all, a lot of churches are filled with women anyway. Even if the pastor's married, it just is what it is. But sure enough, half them women left the church.
Oh my God.
And I had a little incident while we were married with some little chickie poo making food for him.
Boo-boo kid.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I mean, like, because I had to tell him one time, he would bring home, it was cute, but he would bring home bags of vegetables like potatoes and like, please don't bring no produce home no more. Cakes and pies, and people just want to bless the man of God, and I get that. But this one was a little too close for comfort, and he had the nerve to post a picture on Instagram.
Don't post on the gram.
Posted the evidence.
I said,
He was like this with the bag of food.
Right?
yeah. So
Terrell, that's when we knew you was on your way out. Because we all had a meeting about that post.
Oh, Lord. Yeah.
That is funny. Yeah, can we move along?
You don't want to talk about preachers
Just a
no
little
more?
toasty.
Act two.
But again, a position of power. Anytime you put a man in a position of power, and then now he's got an anointing, he's a man of God, and women lose their daggone minds.
Yeah.
Have tunnel
in the
vision.
name of Jesus.
All they see
All
is
in the
him.
name of Jesus.
Yeah.
They don't see the fiance, they don't see the wife, they don't see the girlfriend of 13 years. All they see is him.
Right. I remember when I was dating my little stint, when I was dating my preacher, and I went to his church one day. I didn't want to go to his church, but I was like, let me just go to
You
the
were
church.
so not committed.
He was
just cute.
I was a harlot, but I was like, he was fun.
That's all you keep saying, Diann. You know that she kept this real top secret. Okay.
So I went one day to a little church, a little church on the corner, whatever. Little back porch type church.
In LA?
No, in Oakland, before I moved to LA. And I went and sat on the back row. I'm like, I don't want no attention. And then they had the whole ceremonial visitors. Stand up, tell us your name,
Touch
where
your
you
neighbor.
from, touch your neighbor, hug somebody, all that bullshit. So, I just stood up and just said,
It's crazy tonight.
so I just stood up and said hello, and I said I was a friend of Pastor Carey's, and that was that.
And
when
the
that
whole church said,
no, she didn't. And I was like, whoa.
You felt the shade. You felt the
I was
shade.
getting daggers immediately thrown at me.
You're a threat now.
And then it went to, that skirt sure is short. What kind of car she driving? Yeah. She got a kid too. And I was like, bye, Felicia. All right, so let's talk Act 1, Scene Groupie. Now, kids, and Hollywood. All right. So kids are often always affected by this notion of groupie, you know, in one way or another. And Jackie, I know that your daughter is a singer. You and Doug's daughter Chantel, and she's very beautiful.
Oh, she is beautiful.
So she's talented, she's beautiful, and she comes from a famous family. So how has she had to deal with the whole groupiness of Hollywood?
You know what? Shani's different. She kind of stays out of it. She wanted to do the whole entertainment thing, especially young Hollywood when she was she's 22 now. So when she was, say, 16 to 20, she was more chasing her dream to be a singer, to, you know, music, dancing, fashion, whatever it was with the whole crowd. So, and now she's traveling quite a bit. She just stays out of it. She's different. She's a Gemini, and very independent. It's been that way her whole life.
But how does she avoid, I guess, and again, you know, athletes aren't necessarily famous like, you know, a movie star or, you know, a television star is, but certainly people know who her dad is. They, of course, now they know who her mom is. And I would think that she gets a lot of friends.
Yeah, she's
the
went through
attempt
that.
at a lot of friends.
Yeah, she's
know?
went through that, but she's good at weeding them out, and she's hard. She's one of those kind of girls that's very difficult to get next to. She has a shield up around her.
Oh, Mama has taught her well.
Oh, no. But she uses it against me, too. Yeah, Shani's not one that I worry about.
No.
As far as that goes, she's got a good head on her shoulders.
Yeah. That's good.
That is good.
Now, Sheree, Trey,
Yes, my baby.
Oh, my goodness.
our favorite 22-year-old.
The boy.
22?
He's 22.
Our favorite 22-year-old. He's incredibly handsome. And, you know, when I think about Trey, you know, I think of a kid who is very savvy. You know, he grew up in Hollywood. Obviously, he has famous parents. He's acted a little bit. He's been a correspondent. Now he's a very prominent up-and-coming DJ. So I want to know, can he spot him coming?
He probably can, and he's probably like, "Come to daddy."
The question is, can Mama spot him coming?
You know,
He'd be like, security.
But he has to get on the other side of this, because I think at this age, at 22, he's getting his feet wet in the business, and he's getting the adoration and the attention,
Right.
And that's flattering.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's flattering. So I don't think he minds the groupie scene. I think he's good, but I think he's very, very clear on who's who in the zoo, and he's a smart kid. His mama raised him.
Oh, yeah.
His mama raised him right.
Unlike some silent.
You see now.
Now, has Trey ever brought someone home and you just said, I already see who this is right here. Pack her bags.
You know what? Yes, there was one girl that came to the house, and I had heard, like, the family called me and was like, he's hanging with this girl. And it's crazy because they don't normally, you know, get in the business like that. But they didn't like this girl at all. And I was like, well, what's wrong with her? You know? And so anyway, she came to the house. And, you know, I'm just kind of peeping her out, and the chick's hair caught on fire. It's all from the Lord.
What happened?
She leaned back. I had a candle, and she got too close to the candle. And that hair went whoom. Tracy, you on fire! You on fire! I said, all right, thank you.
Did she ever come back to
Ain't seen the sense. No.
She's running for dear life.
Not that she was a groupie, I don't want to say that, but I just know that the other side of the family didn't really care for her too much.
Yeah.
They felt she was a little too crafty and advanced.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you know, let's talk about, you know, the come up. Because sometimes groupies wins, you know, sometimes they have it all. So is there any advantage to ever being a groupie?
I guess if you get the man, if you get the marriage, and if that's it. Well, it depends on what your goal is. What's your goal?
Well, obviously, if they're not obviously, but for some, if they're trying to get the man,
Then that's a win.
it's a win temporarily, because you best believe who you were when you got him, she on her way to take him from you. It just repeats itself. Like, I don't want, if you got a situation over there and I know I'm the side joint.
Jackie, do you know, because you know a lot of people, and you don't have to name names, but do you know any groupie situations
like names.
that got that got married and are still married and kind of made it work?
No.
No.
I don't know of anybody that, started off on that kind of...
Listen, viewers, if y'all know a successful story where a groupie came up and they still together some odd years later, we love to take her out to lunch.
Not only take her out to lunch, we need to introduce her to Simon & Schuster, because you need to write a book. You need to help some of these hoes out here.
That's fine. Well, we all kind of landed ballers.
Y'all did.
What makes us different?
And you will not. Y'all understand? She's talking about y'all. Damon is a baller.
I got a regular, respectable man
he
with a
ain't
job.
A regular. Listen, not according to groupie.com.
Got a job tied to all them athletes.
They like,
We got a regular life America.
They over here talking about I'm getting ready to have a baby boy so I can put him in that kid and get next to David. Oh my God. Plotting this scheme.
But really, what makes us different?
Yeah, I want to know.
I want to know.
What makes us different?
What makes us different?
I just think when you have a whole standard to yourself, the respect, like, come on, listen.
Well, some of these groupies have respect. You're talking about the levels of
groupies don't have respect. The respect and groupies do not go together.
Some of them do.
No.
Some of them, there are different levels, and some of them...
You feel like there's respect?
I'm just saying that fly
There's a
girl.
hierarchy.
No, fly girl is bat-ass crazy women who think they got it under control. But at the end of the day, boo, you could get replaced real quick with the next fly girl. So
True, but if
what
she's...
respect is there?
But I'm just saying, if she's a groupie, right? Okay, let's just not even use the word groupie for a minute, April. Just bear with me. Okay, so
that hoe over there.
Let's use Jackie's word.
Those bitches. Okay. But look, you're dating somebody, right? You're dating. He's a successful, powerful man. You only see him when he comes to town, right?
Then we're not dating.
Okay, but in
We're
your
not
mind,
dating.
you are.
No.
So
Why is that not dating?
I know.
You only see him when he comes to your
You
town.
gotta date first.
Okay, time out. When I met Sean, I was in LA and he was in New Jersey. He was working in Miami. No, let me just say something. If we're dating, I'm not waiting for you to come to LA to see me. Us dating, I'm coming where you're at too. Number one rule our mothers have told us, if a man don't invite you back home, there's a reason why he ain't inviting you back home.
But April, and on the real though, you kind of turned Sean down.
I turned him out.
You don't count.
Oh, y'all cannot be putting my business out there on national television. Like, okay, and that's it for our show tonight.
But let's not forget, April, you weren't a groupie at all, but you did kind of pack up and leave LA.
I did. True story. But it was after he courted me. I was in Miami, back and forth so much that Miami had became my second home.
But how do you know the fly girl like that? How do you know the fly girl
She
ain't back and
travels.
forth?
I don't read up on her. She travels.
Yeah.
What do you mean she
They
traveled?
take her on the team.
Is she meeting the
plane.
family?
You don't know.
The fly girl ain't meeting the
So
family.
if you meet the family,
Jackie, help me out here.
So if you meet the family, that disqualifies you from being a groupie.
No, what I'm saying is not just one particular thing. You cannot say you're dating a man, you haven't seen his family, you haven't been to the state where he lives, you haven't been to his house. If he has kids, you never met them. Like it's a package that comes with dating.
I
And
dated a guy
can't,
for 2.5 years, and I went to where he worked once.
because you're selfish and you didn't care to go.
Whoa.
That's a true story. You didn't care about him. Where's he at today?
In jail.
Have you written him a letter? Wait, have you written him a letter? Because you don't care about him, so we can't use him.
Wait a minute. Y'all stop bickering. We have a comment from another one of our viewers.
Oh,
Women
man.
at home got to say.
Well, they ain't in jail, I'll tell you that. But no, they say that the difference between a groupie when somebody's successful and an actual relationship and a girlfriend that is potential for marriage is that a relationship is built on teamwork and a groupie is a parasite, somebody who only takes.
Oh.
I think she gives too.
Hello.
She's definitely giving.
That's not fair.
No, a groupie is not the giver. I mean, the taker. They're the giver. So they're in a relationship where they're only giving.
Usually, yeah.
Usually.
They're
Unless
getting-
he got money and,
If
that
she's
type of
a
thing.
fly girl, then she's
status.
receiving some things.
Listen,
Yeah,
I don't
she's
care
got
nothing
some
about no
things.
Birkin bag.
Status and-
Once that's played out, what you got? You gonna do something else for the next new thing? Like, come on.
Okay, but look, all right. I'm gonna stop defending Nicole. All right,
I want you
I'm
to.
just gonna stop defending
And I want
her.
them to get real jobs.
I'm trying to help them out here. But on the real though, we talking groupies. I don't know. I love my husband dearly. I swear I would probably leave him if his ass ever got that crazy. But is it really easy to ignore all this ass?
I don't think so. How do you ignore all that?
That
You
look like
ignore
me
that.
10 times. Like, no.
How can you ignore all that airbrushed booty?
You don't look at it. That's how you ignore it.
Oh,
April,
okay.
that's not even realistic.
Is Sean blind now?
Yes, he has
Right.
cataract in the left eye.
Are they dancers?
It
I
was a
don't
shot
know
we
what
found
they
in
are.
groupies.
Okay.
Yeah.
They doing something.
Jackie, you would be
Yes.
the most qualified to answer this. Is that realistic? Because I always say, I have a compassion for men. I can't imagine the level of temptation that like a basketball player, professional athlete like Doug, like a Kobe Bryant, the temptation that is being thrown at them. They go to a hotel. They're working. They go to a hotel, in another city, and bam, the chicks are just. This is all up in the lobby. How do they? That's some serious temptation to be able to continually turn down.
Yeah, I think so. But I think most of the men, if they are confident and
Yeah.
they're considerate of their relationships at home, it's not too bad. And once you get into the rigmarole of it all, everybody thinks it's this glamorous life. Their bodies are sore, they're hurt. They, their ankles is getting twisted. They're in there playing, and they lose a lot of energy and all of that. I traveled with Doug, so I was at all the hotels and stuff. So
My
I
kinda
didn't
girl. I
see
know
that
that's
all the
right.
time.
Why did you travel with Doug? Was that something that he wanted? Was that something that you guys agreed to do? Was that something you brought to the table?
Yeah, and he had been in the league. We were dating for those couple years before, and he would travel and all that. But he, we'd be on the phone or, and he just felt lonely. So when we got married, he was like, "No, you can come with me." So I went, and we just had a ball. We was planning
How did
our
the guys
future.
react to
and
that?
They actually loved me because
Oh,
I wasn't
nice.
into their
Yeah.
business. I would be with Doug, and
Yeah.
I was their, cheerleader, so to speak. I was their biggest fan, so it was cool. But the media, of course, twisted it. Oh, she
Right.
follows
They
him.
always
she's this.
do, yeah.
But it was good. It was all
Yeah.
positive and fun.
Yeah.
We took our kids too, so they went
Okay.
till they
Aw.
got in school age, and then they.
Which is awesome. So he
Yeah.
always had his family with him.
And 23 years later. So there's
Hello.
something to be said
Something
about
to be said
that.
about
Yes.
that.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Because my bags do stay packed.
Okay.
Yeah, they stay packed. I
that's
stay ready to
Were you
go.
looking at me?
Your bags got dust on them.
My bag stay packed too.
Just for yourself.
Right, just for your own trips.
Me and Trey.
So, before we wrap it up, I think we should hear from our viewers next week, right? We want to hear from you ladies out there. We'd love to know about your encounters with the rich and famous and not so famous. Have you ever been a groupie? Do you know some groupies? Is your sister really a groupie? We want to know, so talk to us. Hit all of us up on social media. Tell us your story so that we can call you out next week. Now, ladies, what's your last bit of advice for the groupies out there? Miss Sheree.
Ooh, I think y'all get a bad rap. I think we're a little harsh on you.
Okay. April.
I think all women are too beautiful and too powerful to have to submit to being a groupie. Love yourself a little bit more.
And Miss Jackie.
I would agree with both of those guys and just say that, independence is something that is the most attractive, confidence and independence, and men will come to you. You won't have to chase them.
That's right.
That's true. That's true. And I think when a woman is really about her business, when she is about her business, her future, that is what really sets her apart
Right.
from all of the other women, from all of the big booties out there. I remember Pharrell doing an interview and someone saying, like, you married this woman, like, we just didn't, we didn't picture you with someone like that. And his response was, everybody else was performing around me for me to see them, but he said because it was so much performance, I could see her. I could see her in the midst of all these other things because she stood out. She wasn't chasing him and
That's beautiful.
looking for a record or a theme song like we got.
She understood her value.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely. So, ladies, love yourselves just a little bit more, and I bet the men will too. So, Miss Sheree, how can our viewers keep up with you?
Sheree Fletcher on Twitter, on Instagram, and Facebook.
And
April.
I'm April Daniels on all social media platforms.
And
Jackie Christie on all social media platforms as well.
And I am Diann Valentine. I hope you enjoyed our conversation tonight. We are just saying, it's Friday night. Did you enjoy the cocktail? Talk to us. Talk to us. We'll see you next week.
Yes. Good night.
Yes, cheers.
Just saying.
From producers Maria Menounos, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, Kevin Undergaro, and the entire BHL crew, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us at info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I'm your BHL announcer, Scipio. Instagram me at Planet Scipio. Thank you for tuning in.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.